Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome you. I would like to welcome you on video number 7 out of the 21 videos I challenged myself I would do to get me out of my comfort zone and start reconnecting with the people I know in my life, and I love them. I love all of you, by the way, guys. And thanks for the feedback until now that I had, and thank you for watching them and the positive vibes that you've been sending me. So today's video number 7, and it's about that little voice in your head that tells you that you cannot do this and you're not capable and you're not good enough, basically. Yesterday evening, I was at the self-development center where I'm training and studying for the past 7 months. And we had a big, amazing, fantastic event with over 200 people in. And I held some conversations with some people who I know them and they know me, and they have watched some of my videos already. And they've been telling me that people have actually started telling me that I cannot do what you do. And it's really interesting because I was thinking last week, I was thinking exactly the same thing about myself. And I was surprised and amazed because these people who told me that thing is people that I admire highly. And in my eyes, they do things that I couldn't do for various reasons. And it's really interesting. As I was having a conversation with one of these people, and I realized this thing, okay? Our strengths and our weaknesses, basically, they're muscles. They're muscles, like imagine them as mental muscles. Muscles that we train daily by what we feed them. In our thoughts, what we think, and what we feed them outside in the world when we speak to people. When you're saying to everyone you meet that when they ask you for something and you're saying like, you know what, I cannot do that, in that moment what you do is that you're training the muscle of fear that says I cannot do that. On the other hand, when you might be working like me 20 years in the hospitality industry and you know how to cook, you know how to delegate jobs, you know how to manage, how you do your prep, how to do your orders, how to run properly and successfully your double shifts, your single shifts, and so on and so on. What it is there is that I had the training beforehand and I have the experience afterwards. So what I have done there, I have trained that muscle. And the more I've trained that muscle, the bigger results I brought and the better performance I have. And as I was speaking, to bring the subject back, as I was speaking to my friend, and he said to me, I couldn't do what you do with the live videos that I'm sharing with you now. I realized in that moment that I'm still afraid, okay? I'm still afraid of judgment, of being considered I'm a fraud by people, or don't know what I'm talking about. But I realized in that moment that one thing, and that one thing was that I have been training all my life, all my 30 odd years, that muscle that says I cannot do it, or I'm not good enough. And the funny thing is that even now I have that voice in my head saying that you cannot do that, but now I'm not listening. I haven't put that voice anymore in loudspeaker in my head and been listening to that voice telling me you cannot do it, because now more and more every day almost I have live proof that actually I can do it. So I've started training that muscle that says you're capable, you're capable, you can do it, you're as good as it takes, and you're not much more or less capable than other people in your life. Just a muscle that the more you train it, the more you will accomplish, the more you're open. And funnily enough, I've done like 6-7 videos with this one today, and I have already started seeing changes from the first video I did with this one today. And also it's really interesting, people have started noticing around me. Wherever I go in and I start speaking with people, I'm more open, I'm more self-expressed, I'm more alive. Some people find it interesting. Some people, because they have a certain way of seeing me, we know you to be this way, it's a bit strange for them. I appear as weird to them because like, oh, we used to you being that way, now you are this way. And I said like, I'm still the same person, I'm just more me. I'm more present, I'm more alive, I'm more vivid. It's just me. And so, as the title of the video says today, is when you're in your mind and you have that no agreement, it is this little voice that will always tell you you're not good enough, or you don't have knowledge about it, or don't get involved, it's not your business. So what I can say for sure is that don't listen to that voice. That voice will always be there with you until your last day. Don't listen to that voice. For example, I used to have a certain listening when I was going for job interviews. I would think of them as, okay, yeah, they told me about this job. Well, they do this amount of covers, they give me this amount of money. Maybe it's not good enough. I don't know how it would be. And based on these ideas, I would make my opinion known. And maybe I wouldn't even go for a trial shift, not even go to have a live interview, after you pass the phone interview. And I started experimenting more and more the past 7 months. Whereas even if I didn't like the job, just because I gave my word I would be on that job for a trial shift at least, I would go. And well, the results were profound. I realized that the story I was making in my head about how the job would be was an entirely different story to the job, what it actually was. And that's really interesting, because after I experimented with that thing like 2 or 3 times, I started catching myself that I'm not judging so fast anymore, things that I don't know. I'm not making stories so much often as I used to do, and I'm being more patient, like to see what's the outcome. And I'm listening more. I'm listening more to people, what they have to say about what they want to say before I make a judgment. Like, I will hear something, but I will go and see it and experience it before I form an opinion about it. And yes, once more I would say, your word creates your world. I was thinking bad about things, and no matter whether these things were bad or no, in my eyes, in my mind, in my ears, was always a bad thing. So the moment I stopped that voice, the moment I shut up and zipped my mouth, and I started listening more and experiencing more a situation, the whole reality I was living into started shifting, eventually totally transformed. It became like day and night, how I perceive the world and how I see people. Now, and the last thing I want to say is that I'm being amazed with how my reality is starting to be now, day by day, how I reconnect with people, how much more alive I occur to people, whereas before I wasn't. And it's all thanks to that training I started doing 9 months ago. I did 2 basic programs that self-development company had, and I jumped straight in to do the big leadership program that they were offering, like self-expression, being bold in life, vivid and alive. And yeah, I have seen the transformation in me in the past 7 months since I started, and I cannot recommend that these programs highly enough, and how transformative they can be in my life. They have been in my life, and if they have been in my life, it can be for your life too. Anyone who's interested and want to have further more conversations with me, please do PM me, send me messages. You have my phone number, some of you, call me, don't hesitate. And the work is amazing, magnificent, fantastic, and life transforming. So that's number 7 video out of the 21, and wow, it's already 1/3 of these videos have done, and look how much I have transformed my life. And in the coming 2-3 videos, I have a nice surprise, like start producing more quality stuff. And anyway, thank you guys once more for watching. Have a blessed day and wish you the best. All right, take care.